There are so many doubts about piping design engineering career among right from freshers to experienced. So let me take this opportunity to clarify a few of them. Let's start with the first one. The first one is how to start a career in piping design engineering career. In order to start a career in piping design engineering, you need to get a job in piping design engineering. To get a job in piping design, you should have some qualifications. What are those qualifications? So let me put this into two categories, knowledge and skills. The knowledge required are, the first one, you should know about the softwares used in piping design. And the second one, you should have a basic knowledge about piping design engineering. This includes how the piping design engineering works, fittings and pipes and valves, and the importance of drawings actually. What are the different types of drawings? As a overall, you should know about piping design engineering. And third is the most important thing. You should know about the engineering work process which are practiced in actual job. So these are the three categories, three steps in knowledge category. Let me go to the skill sets. The skill set. The first one is that you should be really proficient in handling the softwares, either 2D or 3D. And the second one is P&ID reading flawlessly. Third one, you should be able to make pipe routing individually. And the fourth one, you should know how to choose the supports and how to place the supports. So these are the four skill sets you should require. Now let's go to the point number, which is the best role in piping engineering. For that, you should know what are the different roles available in piping engineering. What are the different roles? There are piping design engineer, there are piping stress engineers, there are piping metal engineers, and piping construction engineers and piping project engineers. Most of them are trying to find the best way in order to get more salary. But that's not the right way. You have to immediately take out this fundamentally wrong question from your mind. Let me tell you why it is. There are jobs that demands a lot of documentation, but many of them may not be suitable for that. There are jobs requires a lot of calculations and analysis. A lot of people may not like it. And there are jobs requires a lot of discussions and talkings and meetings basically. So many people don't like that. So basically the choice of the role depends upon your behavior and your character and your likeness to the roles and responsibilities. So what is my advice? My advice is that if you are seriously trying to find the best role, you have to understand the roles and responsibilities of each of these roles and then try to find which is best roles and responsibilities according to your character likeness. That is very important instead of going behind the salary. Now let's go to the third. What are the opportunities for freshers in abroad? Before answering them, I want you to understand the countries outside India are expecting experienced people for them in order to do some development in their own country. They are not trying to find the freshers for whom they can give training and then put them into the job. So that's not the requirement. So I see there are lots of opportunities are there for experienced, not the freshers. So please do work on this experience in the own country because you have a privilege to get experience from the motherland. Earn experience from motherland and then move to abroad. That's the best way of doing it. Now let's go to the fourth. Does piping design engineers has futures? Definitely piping design engineers has futures. Let me tell you why it is. There are more than 35,000 process plants in the world and I'm expecting at least 1,000 in another 20 to 25 years. And moreover, the 35,000 plants which are already existing in the world needs a lot of maintenance activities and improvements. And the growing demands of the population requires a lot of petrochemicals, chemicals and a lot of bio and hydrogen plants basically. So in order to meet this demand, definitely there will be a lot of requirements for piping design engineers. So at least in the near 50 years, I don't see any decline in piping design engineering. Now let's go to the fifth point. Why is it not easy to get an entry in piping design engineering? Let me tell you very frankly. It's really easy to get an entry in piping design engineering only if you possess the required skills and knowledge. A lot of people who are trying to get into piping design engineering without knowing the basic skills that are required. If you know the skills required, only then you will be able to train yourself. So you have to understand what is the actual job requirement and try to prepare accordingly. Try to prepare for the interviews accordingly. Most of them who are entering into the piping design engineering is because that they don't find any other opportunities outside. And the people who are academically poor are trying to enter. See, it's not an issue with you being academically poor or you not being academically poor. It's an issue with whether you are aware about the skills and requirements which are really required for this job. If you possess those skills and requirements, you will get it. So that's how it is. The sixth one. What are the growth prospects for piping design engineers? Being in engineering field, you have a hierarchy level to grow. So especially in piping design engineering, you start as a junior engineer, then slowly move to the associate engineer, then you will become a senior engineer, then you will become a lead engineer, and then you will become a principal and you will become an HOD. This is one stream. But in the course of your journey through the experience, if you find that you don't want to be in the technical field, you can choose the management field, like going to the project manager by doing an MBA, so that you can pursue the management career as well. So there are two different streams are available in terms of growth prospects. Now let's go to the point number 7. Is there any opportunities in European and American countries for piping design engineers? Definitely. There are plenty of requirements for piping design engineers. You can Google it and you'll be able to find it. Only thing is that most of the jobs requires some multiple skill sets, and you have to be really dynamic in performing, because those countries don't work in a way that Indian countries works basically. So for example, you're being a piping design engineer, you should be able to be really proficient in handling the 3D model and as well as the specifications and materials and preparing the 2D as well. So they require people with multi-dynamic skill sets basically, but there are a lot of opportunities. There are plenty of opportunities, especially in European countries if you look at it actually. Now let's go to the point number 8. What higher education is appropriate for piping design engineering? Generally for piping design engineers, BE mechanical engineering is the only qualification which are required. But down the line, if you really wanted to move up the ladder in order to perform a better role, I would strongly recommend to go with the chartered engineering or professional engineering certifications actually. There are institutions in India, they will guide you in order to get those engineering. So these certifications are useful for those who wanted to go up the ladder in order to perform a better role, in order to perform bigger responsibilities actually. But other than that, if you ask me, do I need a master engineering for piping engineering design engineers? Then I would say that there is no such requirements to have a master's in designs or something to work as a piping design engineering. BE mechanical engineering qualification is far most enough to pursue this piping design engineering. Now let's go to the next point. The next point is, does Pymedaca conducts any live classes? The answer is no. Currently, we are only teaching you through different courses so that you can learn those subjects during your leisure time. But so far, we don't have any plan for live classes, but if ever we have any plan, I will announce you. The last point is, what is the most important skill required for experienced piping design engineering? According to my experience, one of the most important skill required for any experienced piping design engineers is ability to take decisions according to engineering requirements, which is not very easy because you have to analyze various parameters. Like, for example, if you want to finalize a routing, you should have to study the P&ID, you should have to study the space, you should have to understand the specifications of client requirements and as well as in-house requirements, and you should know what is any government norms, regulations and policies, and you should have an idea about the international standard recommendations. So it's not easy to make a decision for one particular thing, but that is the most important skill required for any experienced design engineers. You should have an ability to understand everything and then take a decision. That's it. I will meet you in another fantastic video. Until then, bye from Subhash Chandran.